Hello, my name is Janice Mitchell. I am the Associate Chair of the Jackson, Mississippi Chapter, Jack and Jill of America Associate Group. I am honored today to be here in honor of our 30th year Fun with Santa event. Today we have two of our associate members here, Ms. Dorothy Thompson and Ms. Rosie McNair. And today we will kind of go down memory lane talking about 30 years of our Fun with Santa event, how it got started and where we are today. So Dorothy, you was one of our original members of the Jack and Jill Associate Group.
Yes,
so tell us about that.
I was one of the original members, also with Maud Wright, who's deceased now, and Gussie Thomas, who could not be with us here today. When we started to plan this activity/event, we had 3 goals in mind. The first goal was to bring a holiday activity to the inter-city community for the children. Our second goal was to ensure that the children of the inter-city community see a person that resembles themselves in Santa Claus. And our third goal was to make sure that this event was free. As you know, as it is today, as it was back then, that when you went to the mall to take a picture with Santa Claus, you had to pay for it. We wanted to make sure that everything was free. We wanted the community, particularly the children, to know that all you had to do was just show up. Our first event was held at Collins Community Center, located on West Northside Drive. It was a fun event. The kids played a lot of games. They were able to have breakfast with Santa Claus, and most important, they were able to take home with them a picture with Santa Claus. We stayed at Collins probably about 2 years. Then we went to Anderson Methodist Church. Guess what? We outgrew that place. Then we went to Cade Chapter Family Life Center. Guess what? We outgrew that place also. Our next stop was the Jackson Medical Mall. I want to stop right here and give a shout out to the late Dr. Aaron Shirley, Jackson Public School, and Jackson State University. Dr. Shirley let us use that place free of charge. The Jackson Public School, we partnered with them so that we was able to bus children in. We had many children that wanted to come to the event, but they did not have transportation. And Jackson State, thank you so much for those Prancing J sets and the Tiger. When the kids, when Santa would come in with the Tiger and the Prancing J set, the children would just go crazy. Janice, I can go on and on, but I'm gonna stop right now.
Also fortunate to have one of our associates, Rosie McNair. She served as one of our chairpersons. We had a number of chairpersons that served, mostly our Jack and Jill mothers, but we want to ask Rosie to talk a little bit about what happened during the Fun with Santa event.
Thank you, Janice. Well, as they say, Fun with Santa was, for us, it was very fulfilling. It was a labor of love. And when I first started in Jack and Jill, working with Fun with Santa, I worked with Charlene Priester. I was her co-chair at the time. And then Charlene, as she migrated out, I became the co-chair, became the chair of Fun with Santa. And little did I know how much work was involved. We would start this project about 4 months prior to the event. It took a lot of planning, meetings, ordering prizes, getting entertainment. Entertainment, as Dorothy mentioned, we used Jackson State. But I also want to mention that because it was mother and children, we did as much as we can about bringing in the students from Jackson Public School. They would bring in their talent. We wanted them to come in, allow them to showcase their talent. And say they would come in, they would dance, and they would sing, and they would play drums, and they would play instruments. And we had a variety of talent that was in Jackson Public School, and they gave us an opportunity to put them on stage and to showcase them. The other thing we did was that, as she mentioned, everything was free. We wanted to give prizes to the kids. So we would let them play different games and win prizes. And it was just so fulfilling to watch all of these kids. Sometimes we would have 800 kids, and we got up to 1,000 kids one time for this event. And just to bring them out, the parents bring them out. And to mention prizes, we also want to mention, because it was a mother event, the mothers were getting out of their bed, bringing their kids. So what we did, we decided we're going to start giving the mothers, giving them an opportunity. So we would raffle off tickets and then give them an opportunity to have prizes too, because we wanted everybody to be a part of this celebration. And so, and you want a funny story? Our funny story was our refreshments. We did the Debbie cakes. And we would be running down Debbie cakes. I would go to every Walmart I could, pick up every Debbie cake box I could.
Every program.
Some of them would order them from the truck. And they were running down trucks. We were picking up all these Debbie cakes so that we could have enough Debbie cakes to provide to the kids. And so we would use all our resources as much as we could to try to make sure this event came off as planned. And so, I mean, I just want to make sure that we understand. We also, one of the other things we did was we wanted to showcase vendors. We would get vendors, local vendors, Black local vendors. We wanted them to showcase their goods, their merchandise, their art, their creative. And they would bring us pictures, and they would bring ornaments, and they would jewelry, different things that they would put out and showcase for us, and gave us an opportunity to purchase some of them, to show the kids that they can use their talents in different ways. So we really wanted to do this. This was all part of it. And it got bigger, and as you realize, it has gotten even bigger and bigger and bigger.
What about the reading corner?
Oh yeah, the reading corner.
Oh yes.
Oh, that was a great thing. We would have some of the mothers will dress up. Some of the mothers would dress up, and they would read to the students. We would have volunteer. They would read the reading corner, read to the students, and several mothers did that. And then what we did was that we will give out free books.
Make sure that every child went home
with a book.
Yeah,
with a book.
And one of our mothers, from some kind of way, she got in touch with some of these companies that have these books, and we had books coming in from galore. So
everywhere.
We was using all our resources as we can to just try to make this holiday and make this event a big special event for kids. And then they would come back, and they would come back year after year. They would come back.
And also talk about some of our Black vendors that we have.
Well, some of the vendors would come out, and they would, bring their jewelries, and they would make little sculptures and arts and things. And we saw our little Black angels, and we was able to do that collection. And so it was just different things that they would come out and bring to us, and they would put on display. And the children can see them, and then we can see them, and then there was some of them we could buy.
I was talking to one of our former members, at the time he was a teen, and he grew up in Jacksonville, and I said, tell me what you think about the Fun with Santa. And he stated that it was a family affair. He said that when you were a small child, that's where you was there to have fun. But when you became a teen, top, that you had to start working. That you had to be there to help set up. The teen had to make sure that they was there manning those games. The teen had to make sure that they were there to, take everything down. So it was a family affair. And normally when we would have it on a Saturday, then the next day we would have our Christmas dinner at some venue. So it was just a very fun weekend that we would have.
And one of the other things that happened during this thing is that, of course, high school students needed community service hours. So we gave them an opportunity, college students, high school students, an opportunity to come out and work that Saturday and to earn community service hours for whatever they needed for graduation and stuff. But it also taught our kids about community service.
Giving back.
She talked about her children. I can tell you about my kids. My kids, when we talked Jack and Fun with Santa, all they could think about was all this stuff that was packed up in my house that had to be stuffed in bags and everything, and it was just became a big ordeal. So, but these are memories that they took with them throughout
and
life.
still.
And as they have gotten to be adults, and they are adults now, they actually volunteer. They do community service and go out and attend opportunities. And this is what Fun with Santa was part of, teaching them about giving back to the community, because that's what we are about. We're about teaching our kids how to give back to the community.
And I want to say also, in addition to the when we took it to the Jackson Medical Mall, it gave us an opportunity to band with Dr. Shirley, and we did health fairs. I know now we have COVID-19 going on with vaccination, but back in those days, we had people there taking blood pressure and just giving vital things to patients and people that walked in at the affair. So that was a great thing at the Jackson Medical Mall that we were proud of, part of our health fair. So we had a wonderful partnership with the Medical Mall, Jackson Public School, just so many resources, and we're just so grateful that 30 years later, they're still going strong, and we're just so proud of Mrs. Thompson, Dorothy, and her dream of bringing this to our inner city community. It's just wonderful to see that 30 years later, it's bigger and better. I mean, now we've gone from Little Debbie cakes to they're giving out bicycles. I mean, they say over 100 bicycles every year, electronic devices and jewelry, just so much. And we're just so proud that a dream that Dorothy and a few mothers got together, but mainly the Jackson chapter of Jack and Jill Mothers today are working strong. The associate groups are working strong. See, we want to commend them for continuing the dream of Fun with Santa 30 years later, and we're wishing for 30 years more.
And if you had told me 30 years ago that this still would be going on, I'm just amazed. And let me tell you, the beauty of it all is that 2 years ago, well, right before COVID, they had the event at the Metro Center.
Metro Center, yes.
And I was able to bring my granddaughter. It's my oldest son, child. And I'll be so happy when COVID goes
away.
I have a 2-year-old. Yeah, I would love to be able to say, hey, bring her back to the same event. I want to thank the mothers of Jack and Jill. They have taken this event to
another level.
And we appreciate everything that they are doing and will continue to do in the future.
And I have one more thing. We have to give a shout out to our Jack and Jill fathers.
Oh yes, oh the Santas.
Many of them served as Santa.
Santas.
And so we have, and they was there with setting up and decorating and taking down and taking pictures, and they was all a part of this whole event. So I really made it a family.
And I have a funny story about my Santa. My husband, the late Johnny Mitchell, served as, I think, the second Santa. And my kids saw him dressed up as Santa. Of course, I had to explain all the way home that wasn't Daddy, that was the real Santa Claus. But anyway, it was just all of the dads. Just thank you and Derek Ashley taking our pictures. We went from Polaroid camera pictures to printed pictures on site. So thank you all the dads for everything that you continue to do to help our moms.
And we want to thank all of the mothers back then. It was
a labor of love.
And like you said, a labor of love.
And I guess as we sum up 30 years of hard work, dedicated work, but it was very, as Rosie started off saying, very fulfilling work. It was something that we wanted to bring to the inner city community, and I think we've done a great job, and it's still here in Jackson, Mississippi. That's the main thing. So I guess we want to wish a happy holidays to everyone, and long live Jack and Jill, and Fun with Santa.
And keep up the good work.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.